What's good? My name is Matthew Head. I'm an Emmy Award-winning film composer, music producer here in Atlanta, Georgia. You've seen and heard my work on P-Valley. Also, you've seen me work on Greenleaf Season 2 and Season 3. I'm also the music producer for Step Up High Water Season 2 and 3. I just finished working on the beautiful documentary, The Black Church. This is our story, this is our song, and I also just wrapped up the music for the movie Robin Roberts Presents Halle, directed by Kenny Leon and starring Danielle Brooks. And this is BMI Know Them Now series. Music was a hobby for me. My passion was to go to school to be a teacher. I played football in college, played football in high school and college, and ran track, and I wanted to be a teacher. My favorite subject was history. So my goal was to be a history teacher. Music was a therapeutic hobby for me. It was a creative outlet all throughout high school, throughout middle school, and throughout college. And by me making this music every day and working on it every day, opportunities started to come my way. And when I was teaching school, I would use music to speak to my kids and talk to my kids and use it as a vehicle. I never saw myself winning an Emmy or working on television shows and movies, or even, it was one of those things where I was just like, hey, if it happens, it happens. But one thing I do understand, I do respect, is the difference between knowing what my gift is and my passions. And one thing about my gift, it opened doors for me and it made room for a lot of different things I never saw. And that's why I continue to follow music. And so when I say music chose me, it allowed me to live the life I wanted to live and literally live my dream of using music to speak and be creative every day. Working on P-Valley in Black Korea is a lot different than working on Greenleaf and the Black Church. I use my own personal inspirations, my own personal stories. I grew up in the church. I grew up playing within my church. I didn't really play in my church, but I was always around it. My mother sung in the choir, my father was a deacon, and I had cousins and friends that played all throughout, and I just picked up what they did. I started playing piano at the age of 5, so I always, knew those church arrangements and all that kind of thing. So by me growing up in the church, I used that inspiration to make the music for Greenleaf and the Black Church. But then at the same time, being from Atlanta, being from the South and listening to hip hop and listening to, our culture, what we have here, P-Valley and Black Korea, or even working on Boomerang came a lot easier as well. So I just use my own personal stories, my own personal vibes to inspire me. And I try to select projects that I can do that very easily. And if not, I go back and study some things and see what happens. A couple people I would love to work with. I would love to work with Jordan Peele. I love his ideas. I love his creativity and what he brings to the table. I love that sound, the vibe, and even the sound. He worked with Michael Abels on the last couple projects. Even that, it's just the depth of what he brings, I love a lot. So I would love to work with him in the future. Ava DuVernay is someone else I would love to work with. I've been a fan of her work since, day one. I've been a huge fan of Selma. I love Queen Sugar. My wife is a huge fan of Queen Sugar. It's just everything that she's done, that she's touched. I just like her, her messages. I like how she shoots. So I would love to work with those two. Jordan Peele and Ava DuVernay would be my go-to. The best piece of advice from me I received was from Kenny Leon. I planted a seed with him about 12 years ago. And he literally said to me, as we were talking and working on the project, he said, "You're only owed the work. The blessing is the work." And he said, it's not the monetary stuff, it's not the fame, it's not the credit, it's the work. He said, as long as you're getting the work, that's the opportunity, and that's the blessing. And so I took that and literally said that every opportunity I get, I want to make the best of it, even if it's something for free, if it's something small, if it's something big, that God promised me the opportunity, and that's when I'm gonna take it. And so that I kept that in my head for my entire career. I still do that. I still work on projects that are small and also work on projects that are huge. I still reach out to up and coming directors and producers and also work with people that I've been established for 20 years. So my goal is just continue to make music and continue to create and be grateful and thankful for those blessings, which is the work. So when you put that in my head 12, 15 years ago, I've not lost that ideas or that attitude. So, I'm a father, I have 2 crazy, beautiful children, and I have an amazing wife. And on my off days or when I'm not working, I would love to just hang out with them and sit with them. We do our family rides, we go out and play in the park, and my son is very active and my little girl is very active. So being a dad is like the best thing for me. It's relaxing, it allows me to see my family. During this whole pandemic, I watched my kids grow up. It's kind of funny, I was telling a friend that we don't see our children grow up because they're always out with someone else, and just to actually sit for the past year and watch my son and daughter grow up in front of me has been amazing. So being a dad and a husband and a son and a brother is very, very special for me. Again, my name is Waithe. Thank you for watching me on BMI Know Them Now series. You can follow me on all social medias at Waithe Music and check out my website for updates at www.matthewhairproductions.com.